Welcome back to Wrestling World. Today we'll be taking a look at a big story that the fans discovered about Otis, and we'll also take a look at the new reports about Lana. So we had quite the big season premiere episode of Raw this week. It was filled with lots of great moments, huge teases of things to come, closure to a lot of old storylines, and it was overall very enjoyable. We saw WWE finally give us closure to the SmackDown hacker storyline, with Ali revealing that it was him behind the mysterious figure all along. But we also got closure to another storyline as well. That was the entire situation between Otis, Tucker, Mandy Rose, The Miz, and John Morrison. The Miz and John Morrison started picking on Otis a few months ago because they thought he wasn't fit enough to be Mr. Money in the Bank. That led to The Miz and John Morrison coming up with all these different ideas of how they can get the Money in the Bank contract out of Otis's hands. The Miz really tried to do everything he could to get on Otis's nerves. We even saw The Miz trade Mandy Rose over to Raw to frustrate Otis even more. Then we saw The Miz try to sue Otis for the Money in the Bank contract, and WWE hinted that we would be seeing that court case unfold on SmackDown. But it didn't really go too far before being dropped. Well, thanks to the WWE draft, The Miz, John Morrison, and even Tucker all got drafted to Raw, leaving Otis by himself on SmackDown. Otis never really got that closure for the storyline with The Miz. However, like we just saw on Raw, WWE was able to sneak it in. Tucker announced that he had a special partner for the night. That individual was a masked version of Otis. It was obviously Otis, but Otis is a SmackDown superstar, so he's not supposed to be at Raw at all. But the fact that he was technically hiding his identity works a loophole for him to wrestle on Raw. Otis and Tucker defeated The Miz and John Morrison to officially end that storyline. We even saw Mandy Rose and Otis reunite backstage and celebrate the win together on Raw. Now, here's where the big news comes in. WWE fans brought up the fact that Otis was wearing the exact same mask and ring gear from WWE's Mystery Woman angle from 2016 to 2017. WWE had a storyline several years ago on SmackDown about this masked woman that kept coming out and interfering with matches. That Mystery Woman would later be revealed as Mickie James. But what the fans pointed out seems to be true. Otis was wearing the exact same mask that Mickie James once wore all those years ago, leaving fans to wonder where Otis got this ring gear from, and if he had stolen it from the women's locker room. It was pretty eye-opening to see him use the same mask. We'll have to see if Otis will respond to what the fans pointed out and make a joke about it. Of course, Otis is now on SmackDown. Mandy Rose and Otis are no longer together on the same brand. So, it'll be interesting to see where his story goes next. WWE also released this graphic asking fans how they would run SmackDown if they were GM. But what's interesting to note about that graphic is that WWE had Otis listed as a main event challenger for the Universal title, while former Universal Champion Kevin Owens wasn't even considered a main event talent and was placed under the Intercontinental title bracket. So that also started up some heated discussion among the fans, if Otis was a main event caliber talent. If you want to debate that, it's completely understandable, but one thing everyone can agree on is that Otis is very entertaining. He definitely knows how to pull the viewer in with some of the stunts he pulls off, but we'll have to see what the future holds for Otis on SmackDown. So for today's second story, I wanted to take a look at some of the new rumors and reports about Lana. Lana did the unthinkable when she became #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship a few weeks ago. No one saw that coming at all. Lana had a great week of build-up leading up to her match with Asuka. Lana was posting promos and really building that hype for the match. WWE announced the match for the season premiere of Raw. Like we saw, Lana was unsuccessful in that title match. She did get some offense in on Asuka, but in the end, it just wasn't enough to win the title. And right on schedule, Nia Jax comes out and throws Lana through the commentary table. This has become a running joke among the WWE and even fans, it seems like. But for the last 5 weeks, Lana has been thrown through the commentary table every single week. We've never seen anything like this. It's pretty ridiculous, but one thing you can definitely count on seeing on Raw every week is Lana getting thrown through a table by Nia Jax. The commentary team also noted that it was her 5th time going through the table. The WWE Twitter accounts also pointed out that this was her 5th time, and it doesn't look like this is going to stop anytime soon. It looks like Lana is just on Raw nowadays, so that she can be put through that table every week. The whole situation with Lana and the commentary table has started up some discussion among the fans. Everyone is trying to figure out why this is happening to Lana for so many weeks in a row now. Did she do something wrong, or is something else going on that's causing this to happen to her? I saw a lot of fans all assuming that this is happening to Lana as a result of what Miro said about WWE during his AEW debut. Fans figured that his comments must have stung them so much that they decided on throwing Lana through a table every week to get back at him. Now, even though that theory actually makes sense and sounds like something they would do, reports claim that's not what's going on here at all. Apparently, Lana being thrown through the table every week is being used to help Lana transition into a babyface, with the idea being that Lana will get sympathy from the fans for going through the table every week, and they'll use that to turn her babyface. Reports also claim that WWE even has big plans in store for Lana on Raw as a babyface. Now, does that include a title run? It's hard to tell. Of course, it's a possibility, but it's hard to know for sure. The only thing that seems to be sure from this report is that Lana will be getting a huge push on Raw and will be highly featured on the show. But I don't know if I really believe that due to the history of reports we've been hearing about big pushes. We hear reports like this all the time. We just heard reports from a few months ago that Peyton Royce was next in line for this massive singles push, and it was going to be this big focal point and everything else. Well, the Iconics split up. Peyton Royce then disappeared for several weeks, and then when Peyton Royce returned this week on Raw, she was apparently part of a team with Lacey Evans. So, it looks like Peyton Royce is getting a little lost in the shuffle, so it's hard to really trust these reports about a big push being on the way because we all know just how fast they can change their minds and forget about it. We'll have to see what the future holds for Lana though, but if these reports are in fact true, then it looks like a bright future could be ahead for Lana on Raw. What are your thoughts on today's wrestling news? How do you feel about Otis coming over to Raw and stealing Mickie James's old mask? What are your thoughts on everything going on with Lana as well? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Stay connected with us on all platforms as well. The links to all our socials are linked below. Thanks for watching, guys.